November 2020, section B of 2020 session, and we are in the class of engineering hydrology and water resources. Last time we were studying about different aspect of meteorology, and we were showing you different types of instruments which are used to measure the meteorological parameters. So anybody will tell me what are different meteorological parameter in which a hydrologist is interested? कोई बताएगा? If my screen is shared or not? I am sharing my screen now.
Yes, sir, visible.
अब visible हो गई है, that's fine. So I was asking what are the meteorological parameter in which a hydrologist will be interested in to some extent. कोई एक दो नाम बताओ parameters का.
So vapor pressure, saturated vapor pressure, humidity, relative humidity, और उसके बाद specific dew point और उसके I think so. यही है.
Anybody else will add? He told vapor pressure, saturation vapor pressure, humidity, relative humidity. I think he talked about dew point also. Anything else?
Precipitation.
Precipitation और कोई? जोर से बोलो, आपकी आवाज नहीं आई. Saturation deficit. और दूसरा क्या? Atmospheric pressure. Very good. Most of the parameters you have named, but sorry to tell you the most basic parameter all of you have missed. कौन सा मिस किया?
एयर टेम्परेचर सर.
टेम्परेचर जो है मिनिमम एंड मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर, जो कि तकरीबन सारी चीज़ों को, या करंट टेम्परेचर सारी चीज़ों को इफेक्ट करता है. इनमें से सैचुरेशन वेपर प्रेशर को इफेक्ट करता है, रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी को इफेक्ट करेगा, प्रेशर को करेगा. So temperature is another and wind speed is another parameter which we are interested. Meteorology आपको बताया था, it is a science of atmosphere. तो atmosphere को atmospheric parameters we measure in it so that we can forecast the weather, so that we can predict the weather. And the weather and climate we differentiate it. Weather is a current condition of atmosphere, while climate is general condition of atmosphere at a certain location. So we should be differentiating both of them. We talked about lapse rate, that is the temperature variation with the height. If we go up in the atmosphere, how temperature varies. So that is represented by a lapse rate for the within the troposphere. Troposphere जिसकी thickness 8 से 16 kilometer, it varies, but on average we can say it is about 10 kilometer. So within troposphere, lapse rate is about 6.5 degrees centigrade per kilometer reduction of temperature. So it is 6.5 temperature reduced as we go up at a rate of 6.5 degrees centigrade per kilometer increase of elevation from the sea surface, from the ground. Different instruments were informed. I would like to know if you are clear about dew point temperature, saturation vapor pressure. ये दो चीजें, इन दोनों में से कोई एक. Anybody will tell me dew point temperature? सामने ही आ रहा है. हाँ जी. Anybody will tell me dew point temperature क्या होता है, या dew point क्या होता है? Nobody interested to speak himself?
Sir, the temperature at which
इस वक्त दो बच्चे बोल रहे हैं, एक हमजा और एक है मिर्जा। ठीक है, करंट वेपर प्रेशर के साथ, करंट वेपर प्रेशर के साथ या ह्यूमिडिटी के साथ हम एयर को कितने डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड तक टेम्परेचर रिड्यूस करें कि करंट ह्यूमिडिटी बिकम्स सैचुरेटेड ह्यूमिडिटी, करंट वेपर प्रेशर बिकम्स सैचुरेशन वेपर प्रेशर। ठीक है, सही बताया। हम एयर पार्सल को कूल डाउन करते हैं सो दैट इट रीचेस टू इट्स सैचुरेशन वेपर प्रेशर। सैचुरेशन वेपर प्रेशर पे जाने के दो तरीके हो सकते हैं ना करंट कंडीशन से। एक ये कि मैं उसमें ह्यूमिडिटी ऐड कर लूँ, तो वो तरीका नहीं यूज़ करना। The temperature at which the current humidity reaches to the saturation vapor pressure, so that temperature is called dew point temperature. And we measure this dew point temperature using instrument which we call as, वो कौन सा इंस्ट्रूमेंट है? अब मुझे हमजा बताएगा, पहले मेरे ख्याल में मोहम्मद, क्या नाम है, मुझसे पढ़ा नहीं जा रहा।
सरफराज मिर्जा सर।
सरफराज ने बताया पहले। हमजा किस चीज से मेजर करते हैं ड्यू पॉइंट टेम्परेचर? या ओके, एनीबॉडी एल्स? हाँ, लास्ट टाइम आपको बताए थे कुछ इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, इनमें एक था मिनिमम टेम्परेचर, मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर थर्मामीटर, दिखाया था आपको?
यस सर।
ओके, बैरोमीटर भी दिखाया था, बैरोग्राफ भी दिखाया था। एक तो मिनिमम मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर से नहीं मेजर करते हम इसको मेजर करते हैं, और थर्मामीटर होता है, उसको हम कहते हैं थर्मामीटर, साइक्रोमीटर जो है that is used and which consists of two thermometer, one attached to a wick of cloth, उसको हम wet bulb thermometer कहते हैं। अगर मैं चला जाऊं उसी पे, तो ये this is one type of the psychrometer or wet bulb dry bulb thermometer. ये सिंपली एक पैनल है जिसके ऊपर दो थर्मोमीटर, टू थर्मोमीटर are attached to it, normal thermometer. It's one of the thermometer has a normal bulb. The other thermometer bulb is covered with a cotton cloth or wick of cloth. उसके ऊपर एक कपड़ा लपेट देते हैं या कॉटन लगा देते हैं simply. Then we wet this wick of the cloth, इसको wet करते हैं whenever we have to measure the wet bulb temperature and dry bulb temperature. Dry bulb we can measure directly, but to measure the wet bulb temperature, we wet this cloth, then we rotate it. If it is such kind of psychrometer, we rotate it using this handle. इस handle से पकड़ के हम इसको rotation देते हैं, ये thermometer rotate होते हैं. Then air passes on this wet bulb and cool down this wet bulb thermometer. And then the temperature in this wet bulb thermometer reduces as compared to the dry bulb thermometer. So that is the wet bulb temperature, and that reaches to the dew point temperature. That reaches to the dew point temperature. So this instrument is used when we have the wet bulb and dry bulb thermometer with us, temperature with us. Along with this thermometer, a chart will be available. Along with this psychrometer, this chart will be available. You can go along the vertical first column, along the first column, and you note the dry bulb temperature in this column. Dry bulb temperature in this column, for example, temperature is 18 degree at the moment, and you have already noted the wet bulb temperature also. So using the difference of the dry and wet bulb temperature, you see what is the difference from this second row of this chart. For example, difference is 4 degrees centigrade. So against the 4 degrees centigrade difference of the wet and dry and 18 degree dry bulb temperature, you can read that 84% is the relative humidity. So using this, we can measure the relative humidity using this chart, and we use the concept that if humidity is more, if humidity in the atmosphere is more, by evaporating water from this wet bulb thermometer, it will cool down less. If humidity is more, it will cool down less. इसका मतलब क्या है? The difference of wet and dry bulb will be less. So if I see, if difference is no difference, 0 degree, then we say humidity is at its saturation vapor pressure, relative humidity is 100%. ये जो second column है, ये difference if it is 0. If difference is high as 15 degree between wet bulb and dry bulb, then you see relative humidity is much less, 4%, 9%, and so we use the concept that if humidity is more in the atmosphere, then it should cool down less, and if humidity is less in the atmosphere, then more cooling effect will be there, more evaporation will occur from the bulb, and it will cool down more. So that is how we use wet bulb, dry bulb thermometer. So this wet bulb temperature, which is showing that dew point temperature also, this wet bulb temperature, which is showing dew point temperature also, can be used to estimate current vapor pressure. Can be used to estimate current vapor pressure. How it can be used to estimate current vapor pressure? For example, you have seen such a graph. You have seen such a graph from your lab report, temperature versus saturation vapor pressure. For example, we are at the moment 50 degrees centigrade and we are at the pressure of 50 millibars. ये इसका क्या units है? Millibars. So, for example, at temperature of 50, we are at atmosphere. We are not knowing. For example, we know that current pressure is 50 millibar, so we are over here, and current temperature is 50 degree. We are at this point. So we from this graph we can, if we move left, we can reach to the saturation point temperature. So that is a dew point temperature. Got it? This thing you know already in the lab. If you know the current vapor pressure, you move left. If you cut the saturation vapor pressure line, and the temperature against that will be the dew point temperature. It will be about 30 for 50 millibars. It will be about 35 or 34 degrees centigrade. यहाँ तक ठीक है? So converse is also true. If you have the dew point temperature known to you, so it means the vapor pressure at that point is the current vapor pressure. अगर इस वक्त का dew point known है, so for example, if that is 34 degrees centigrade, we go to 34 degrees centigrade where it cut the saturation vapor pressure. So actually that is the vapor pressure for the current atmosphere. So that can be used to estimate the current vapor pressure. And current vapor pressure can also be measured using this equation, rho W RT over 0.622 in millibars units. In the units of millibars, we can use this, where rho is the vapor density or absolute humidity. One thing we have informed you is relative humidity. That is the ratio of the current vapor pressure to the saturation vapor pressure. That is relative humidity. It is unitless. But if we want to measure the how much grams of vapors are present in a kg or in a centimeter cube of air parcel, in a volume of air parcel, how much mass of the vapors are present. So it should be in grams or kilograms of vapors per cubic meter of the air or per kg of air. So that is representing the absolute humidity. So absolute humidity will have certain units, either mass per volume or mass per cubic meter, mass per kg of the air. So if this thing is known to us, we can find how much vapor pressure it can exert using the gas law. So उसको यूज करते हुए इसका वेपर प्रेशर हम एस्टिमेट कर सकते हैं. And so that is a brief review of the what we have studied last time. लैब्स रेट आपको पता चल गया. इसके बारे में कोई क्वेश्चन है ड्यू पॉइंट का, सैचुरेशन वेपर प्रेशर का? Saturation vapor pressure is what? An air parcel can hold a certain amount of humidity at a certain temperature. एक खास टेम्परेचर, इस वक्त जो भी टेम्परेचर है या कोई भी टेम्परेचर हो, at that air parcel, air can hold a certain amount of humidity. So that amount of humidity are the vapor pressure because of that humidity, at which further than that it cannot hold any further humidity. So that vapor pressure is called as a saturation vapor pressure. It is function of temperature, and we have the equation to estimate this, and the graph I have just shown to you how it looks like. It enhances the saturation vapor pressure as temperature increases. तो ये बातें हमने लास्ट टाइम की थी. बैरोमीटर जो है सिंपल बैरोमीटर, मर्करी बैरोमीटर, एक इन्वर्टेड ट्यूब होती है which is filled with the mercury, and the bottom open end of the tube is immersed, or it is submerged in a mercury tub, in a mercury cylinder. So height of the mercury standing in the vertical tube represents head of the mercury, which is balancing the atmospheric pressure at that point. Height of the mercury, which is balancing the atmospheric pressure on the cylinder. So that is used to, this is the most accurate method of measurement of the atmospheric pressure. So feel the difference. Atmospheric pressure is pressure because of the complete air, including the humidity inside it, while vapor pressure is part of the pressure, which is because of the vapors of a certain gas, and usually we measure it for vapors of the water. So both things are not same. Saturation vapor pressure is something else, atmospheric pressure is something else. Atmospheric pressure के लिए हम barometer, barograph use करते हैं. For measurement of the vapor pressure, we should know either relative humidity, or we measure it, we estimate in an alternate way using the dew point temperature and using the psychrometer instruments. इसमें कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ लो.
सर
जी
सर जब हम टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करते हैं तो हमारी जो एयर है उसकी मॉइस्चर होल्डिंग जो कैपेसिटी है वो इंक्रीज हो जाती है. सर इसके पीछे रीज़न क्या है, मतलब किस तरह से हम इसे मतलब कह सकते हैं, डिफाइन या डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं?
इसकी रीज़न प्रैक्टिकली एक तो देखा है, रीज़न तो मैं अब तुक्का ही मारूंगा. What I can say is at higher temperature the molecules के दरमियान में जो है वो गैप बढ़ जाता है, उसकी स्पेस बढ़ जाती है, so more air can be accommodated in it. तो मैंने recently ये नहीं पढ़ा तो इसलिए हो सकता है कोई और reason हो, but what I can guess it is the more space available in the air, so then it can hold more humidity inside it. ये है, और मुझे रीजन अभी डायरेक्ट नहीं पता. Okay. Anything else? So you people are familiar with the working of this recording type of instruments or not? इसके बारे में familiar हो? This is one recording kind. This is another recording kind of instrument. Depending upon what sensor we have used, recording arrangement is more or less same. This part is recording arrangement. Some sensor will be attached over here. So depending upon which kind of sensor is attached, this becomes either barograph, it becomes either thermograph, it becomes either hygrograph. So depending upon which kind of sensor is used. For temperature measurement, they use a plate. They call it bimetallic strip. It is two metals are attached to each other, so their relative expansion is different from each other. So when it expands, then its shape is curved, so it curves out. When it curves out, then it moves the lever arm of the pen, then it moves this arm of the pen. When temperature rises, this pen moves up. When temperature reduces, or whatever the parameter it is measuring, not necessarily temperature. So when the parameter increases, it moves up. When the parameter reduces, it moves down. So this graph has the graduations as per the requirement of the measurement parameter. For example, at the moment, this is showing temperature 60, 50, 40 degrees centigrade, minus 20. And it has curved line on it. This graph is attached to a rotating cylinder which rotates with the speed of the clock, and usually it completes one cycle in 1 week. So on this graph, the solid lines are showing days difference, and in between the small thin line shows the hours, change of hours. As it rotates, so it is showing the change of the time. The rotation shows the change of time, and the movement of the pen records the change of the parameter. So we get a line on it on the graph, and when we have the graph detached from this instrument, then we can see at what time, at what day, how much was the temperature or pressure or humidity or whatever the parameter it was measuring. So for temperature, it used bimetallic tube. For hygrometer, for क्या कहते हैं relative humidity, it use thin hair, and usually hair of horse is usually used, which can elongate or reduce its length with the change of humidity. और तीसरी क्या चीज़ है? Pressure. For measurement of the atmospheric pressure, वो कहाँ गया? For measurement of atmospheric pressure, it uses as a sensor, we call it annular, क्या कहते हैं उसको? एक होता है मर्करी बैरोमीटर और दूसरा क्या होता है? एक मर्करी बैरोमीटर होता है, दूसरा एनियर है या एनियर है या क्या है? एनरॉइड, मेरे दिमाग से निकल गया. Aneroid barometer we use. What it has is having a cylinder which can reduce its volume or increase its volume or increase its height with the change of external pressure. जब external pressure reduce होता है तो इसकी height बढ़ जाती है, जब external pressure increase करता है तो इसकी height कम हो जाती है. With this change of aneroid cylinder, the pen or the marker arm is moving up or down. So this is measuring the absolute pressure. So barometer या barograph जो है वो absolute pressure measure करते हैं. Okay, when they make it new, of course, at the start time they have to adjust by calibrating it with a known temperature, known pressure at a certain location. आपके पास एक और इंस्ट्रूमेंट होगा जिसकी आपको which will be giving you the correct information at that place. For example, you have a mercury barometer and it is giving you the correct atmospheric pressure at the moment. So they will adjust this new barograph using its adjustment screws on it, so that it is also showing the same value. इस process को हम कहते हैं we are calibrating this instrument. So initially they make it so that it can record the change of the parameter. So then they adjust it so that the parameter shown by this instrument is same as given by another accurate instrument. So इसको हम ये calibration के process से गुजरना चाहिए, and this calibration process should be repeated during the lifetime of an instrument also. For example, if you simply buy a weight from the market, don't always rely that this will be showing the same weight as it is written on it. 1 kg written है तो लाजमी नहीं है 1 kg. You should compare it with the standard weight available with the quality assurance agencies are available with the laboratory. So यही चीज़ इन instruments में भी हमने करनी होती है. We have to calibrate them on with the passage of time. Usually annually we should calibrate it. Okay, ये instruments हो गए. ड्राई बल्ब और वेट बल्ब थर्मोमीटर का लास्ट टाइम बता दिया था. हाउ डू इट वर्क? एनीबॉडी विल टेल मी? Not dry bulb, wet bulb, minimum and maximum thermometer. कैसे काम करता है? They record the minimum temperature of last 24 hours or with respect to last measurement. With respect to last measurement, what is the minimum temperature recorded at a certain location? What was the maximum? Otherwise, you have to see the thermometer throughout the day, and you have to record maximum and minimum temperature personally by being present close to the thermometer. So that is a difficult option. So they put an facility so that whenever it goes to the minimum temperature, that is kept recorded, and when it reaches to the maximum temperature, that is also kept recorded. So it has two limbs, two arms. क्या इसमें मेन चीज क्या होती है जिससे ये रिकॉर्ड कर लेता है? कौन बताएगा? हाँ, किसको जगाना है मैंने? नवीद अब्बास. नवीद अब्बास.
यस सर.
क्या हाल है? क्या हाल है
सर? आप सुनाए सर.
मुझसे मैं तो सुना ही रहा हूँ. तो
सर ये आपने पिछली दफा सर ये इंस्ट्रूमेंट दिखाए थे, टाइम कम था तो आपने कहा था ये मैं अगली दफा बताऊंगा.
बता तो रहा हूँ और क्या करूँ. अब बताओ, तुम्हें समझ आई है कैसे रिकॉर्ड करते हैं?
नो सर.
वेरी गुड. आपने कोई नेट पे जाके वीडियो देखी यूट्यूब पे कि मिनिमम थर्मोमीटर और मैक्सिमम थर्मोमीटर कैसे काम करते हैं?
नो सर.
इसको हम कहते हैं कि अब ये आपका एटीट्यूड नहीं बना टुवर्ड्स लर्निंग. जब आपको एक नाम ले लिया मिनिमम और मैक्सिमम थर्मामीटर, क्यों नहीं सर्च किया उसका? ज़हन में नहीं आया कि पता कर लूँ कैसे काम करता है? ओके.
मैंने सोचा सर आप बता देंगे.
हाँ सर बता देंगे. जो खुद लर्निंग होती है ना, डिक्शनरी खोल के किसी चीज़ का मीनिंग देखने का मतलब है आप 5 लफ्ज़ और सीखोगे. सर से एक लफ्ज़ का मतलब पूछ लेना, मतलब एक लफ्ज़ सीखा. लेकिन अगर आप खुद ढूंढोगे तो 10 सफ़ों से गुजरोगे आप. ओके. हु एल्स विल टेल मी? हुसैन, हसन, जैन. नवीद आप कहाँ बैठे हुए?
सर मैं डीजी खान घर.
डीजी खान बैठे.
यस सर.
अच्छा, हसन, जैन. तो है
सर
आइडिया मिनिमम और
मरकरी होता है सर उसमें. सर वो ऊपर नीचे जाएगा तो रीडिंग पता चलेगी.
वो तो करंट रीडिंग पता चल जाएगी. मिनिमम और मैक्सिमम को कैसे रिकॉर्ड करें?
सर उसमें वो स्टील के कोई रॉड सा होता है, उससे वो पता चलता है. इस तरह कुछ है.
स्टील मेटालिक इंडिकेटर हमने बोला है.
यस सर.
It has two limbs. Both are provided with two metallic indicators. ये जो आपको तस्वीर नजर आ रही है इसमें मेटालिक इंडिकेटर नजर आ रहे हैं. ओके. ये लेफ्ट arm or left limb of the thermometer is used for recording minimum temperature, and on it the readings are written lowest at the lowest at the top and high temperature at the bottom. -30, -20, -10, 0, 10. So ये इस तरह से है मिनिमम टेम्परेचर लिम. जो मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर लिम है that has the lowest temperature at the bottom and highest temperature at the top. Both of them have metallic indicator. ये जो मैं इस वक्त मेरा माउस जहाँ पे है, this black part is metallic indicator, or on right hand side this one is metallic indicator. ठीक है? What does it mean metal? It is a little bit heavier. And in addition to mercury at the bottom of the tube, it has a lighter fluid on the upper parts. So it has alcohol or separate on the upper part. When and expansion of alcohol or separate is much more as compared to expansion of mercury. तो यहाँ पे जो हम रिकॉर्डिंग करते हैं वो एक्सपेंशन ऑफ द अल्कोहल की वजह से कर रहे होते हैं. तो when temperature increases, and this metallic indicator we can move up and down with the help of a magnet. इसी इंस्ट्रूमेंट के साथ एक मैग्नेट हमें मिलता है. If we put magnet over here and move magnet up, this metallic indicator will go up. If we put indicator over here and move it down, metallic indicator will go down. So metallic indicator is reset today. Yesterday it was reset. What does it mean reset? We bring it close to the top of the mercury on both the limbs. We bring it to the top of the mercury on both limbs. हम उसको attach कर देते हैं mercury के साथ. Okay, for example, if it is attached at this level today, ये क्या temperature हो जाएगा? इसको read करो जरा, जहाँ पे मेरा mouse है. Zain आपने read करना है.
सर 25 के अराउंड बाउडन.
हाँ, करेक्टली रीड किया. कुछ बच्चे इसको गलत करेंगे, 30 को पढ़ के ऊपर चले जाएंगे, 35 पढ़ेंगे. That would be wrong. So in lower on left hand side we have to read it from top to bottom, and on the right limb we have to read it from bottom to top. So over here temperature is 23 on the right limb. On the left limb it is 25 or 24 degrees centigrade. So we reset it at 24 degrees centigrade अगर हमने कर दिया है. So if temperature reduce, so this alcohol in the left limb will contract and mercury will move up. When mercury moves up, it pushes the metallic indicator up, and so the mercury will move down on the right limb also. When alcohol in the left limb contract, mercury will move up on the left limb and it will move down on the right limb. When it moves up in the left limb, it can push the indicator. But when it moves down in the right limb, it cannot pull down. इसके साथ कोई हुक नहीं लगा हुआ कि इसके pull down करे. Mercury push कर सकती है, pull नहीं कर सकेगी. So that is the main thing which is used in this. When temperature reduces, mercury push the left indicator up, but right indicator remain its old position. So if contraction is too high and minimum temperature have achieved, this left indicator will go up and up. And when expansion again start, temperature start increasing in the daytime, expansion of the alcohol will occur over here, and that will push down mercury down. The lower temperature indicator will remain at its place, and now the other side indicator will move up. So in this way, the highest temperature is recorded by the right side limb, and the lowest temperature is recorded by the left side limb. इसमें अभी कोई confusion है तो पूछ लो. That is it. It has two fluid inside it. One is mercury, one is citrate or alcohol. Expansion of citrate or alcohol is used to push the mercury or move the mercury up. And when the mercury moves, it can push the indicator, but it cannot pull the indicator. So on the left side, we can get the mark of the minimum temperature using the metallic. So at the moment, what it is showing, the minimum temperature recorded in the last since last reading. So इस वक्त metallic indicator क्या temperature show कर रहा है? Minimum thermometer का. So bottom of this we read. So that is at 15 degrees centigrade. So minimum temperature in the last period of record is 15 degrees. Last period of record से मुराद है since we have reset the indicator. अगर हमने कल 8 बजे इसको रीसेट किया था तो आज हम रीडिंग करने आ रहे हैं, तो this will be minimum temperature of last 24 hours. So highest temperature recorded by this is 25 and lowest temperature is 15 degrees centigrade. इसके relevant आप videos वगैरह देख लीजिएगा. They have explained it in a quite easy way. कोई है कुछ question इसमें? We install this thermometer and this psychometer in a proper क्या कहते हैं box के अंदर. So this is at a certain height above the ground. which is well aerated, but it is protected from the direct sunlight. So your minimum temperature, maximum temperature, all of them are measured in the shade. So they are giving you the temperature of the air at that place. Not they are not placed under the sun. So shade का temperature होता है. तो अगर आप के पास आज का इस वक्त का temperature weather station वालों ने दिया हुआ है, तो don't consider them that you go out under the sun. It will have the same temperature. So it is under the shade. ये हमने बता दिया, ये बता दिया, ये बता दिया. Wind has two characteristics. One is the direction and one is the speed. Speed is measured with the instrument we call it as anemometer. इसको याद कर लो, anemometer. And usually there are different kind of anemometer. The what we are using nowadays is called cup type anemometer, and either 3 cups or 4 cups are attached to a vertical axis which is rotating. Number of rotations in a certain time period can tell us how much is the wind run. Wind run is during from the last reading to the current time, from the last time step to the current time step, how much is the wind passed from this place. That is wind run. So dividing it by the time, we can get the average wind speed from for that. So this will, some of the instruments are telling us only the wind run, and some of the instruments are telling us the processed value of wind speed, so current wind speed. Some of them are telling. So usually if it is an electronic kind of instrument, then it is giving you the wind speed indicator. And if it is a mechanical kind of, previously we used to have only mechanical cups, axis और एक run meter लगा होता था, simply like an odometer. So it was only giving us the count of the number of rotations are simply converted into the wind run. So we measured wind run, we divided it with the time, and average speed was noted. So other parameter with respect to wind is wind direction. So wind direction is measured with the vanes, wind vanes. It is a vertical plate attached to a horizontal axis. So as the wind direction change, because of this vertical vane, the direction of this and this horizontal bar is changed, and it shows us the direction of the wind. This vertical bar will be pointing towards the direction where wind is blowing, towards which wind is blowing. So at the moment wind will be blowing from this left hand side to right hand side. So this one is showing, and wind direction is in English terms it is written with respect to the direction from where it is coming. If a wind is blowing from east, we say this is easterly wind. If wind is blowing from west, so wind direction is with respect to the direction from where it is coming, not the direction towards which it is going. So that should be noted, that should be kept in your mind. So wind direction is with respect to the source. So easterly wind mean it is coming from east, westerly wind mean it is coming from west. So that should be kept in mind. That will be used easterlies and westerlies in the, and the recording in the weather station, the 360-degree direction in the plan view, if we see, we can record it in 360-degree or even smaller units than that. But it is not necessary to record the wind in so precise angles. Usually they divide the whole circle into 16 wind directions. All the direction 360-degree is divided into 16 wind direction. 4 wind direction are east, north, west, and south. So then in between they divide it into east-west 45-degree pe, not east-west, northeast, that is the 45-degree. Then between these two they will be having north-northeast and east-east-north. So in this way each quadrant is divided into 4 parts. So 4 quadrants, 16 directions they have defined. So you should be familiar that wind direction will be shown by 16 different wind directions. It will be either easterly or it will be north, wind blowing from north, in between it will be in the northeast wind. ये कितना डिग्री हो जाएगा? Northeast it will be 45 degree, and in between it will be divided into 22.5 degree from the north, so that will be called as north northeast. और अगर 45 और उसके दरम्यान 75 डिग्री पे चले गए, 75 बनेगा, 45 के अंदर 22 ऐड कर दो तो 47 और 77, तो अबाउट 77.5 डिग्री पे 45 के अंदर 22, 67.5 डिग्री पे उसको कहते हैं ईस्ट ईस्ट नॉर्थ डायरेक्शन, ईस्ट ईस्ट नॉर्थ डायरेक्शन. So that is how it is recorded. So those were the information about the parameters. Next we have to see circulation of the air masses around the globe. So generally if you see the circulation pattern, this will be represented by this figure. Over here, here the geographical terms will be used. So here's the equator, North Pole, South Pole. We have already informed you. Here is a 30-degree latitude. Here is a 60-degree latitude. इसको एक और नाम हॉर्स लैटिट्यूड भी कह देते हैं, 30 डिग्री ईस्ट एंड 30 डिग्री नॉर्थ एंड 30 डिग्री साउथ को. एंड यू नो our earth is rotating around its north to south pole axis. north to south pole का जो axis है उसके इर्द गिर्द ये rotate कर रही है, and its rotation is 1 cycle per day. It is rotating 1 cycle per day about its own axis, north and south, and it is also revolving around the sun, and that rotation is 1 cycle per year. It is revolving around the sun at 1 cycle per year, and it is rotating about its own axis at 1 cycle per day. तो दिन और रात का जो है वो इसकी rotation about its axis है, और जो seasons का change होना है that is because of its revolution around the sun. And second thing, you should be knowing that this north and south pole axis, if sun is over here, अगर sun यहाँ पे है बहुत बड़ा, so this north and south axis is not perpendicular all the time to the plane of rotation, revolution. It is not always perpendicular to the plane of revolution. At some time it is 90 degree to the plane of revolution. Sometime it is tilted towards sun, and in some season or some month it is tilted away from the sun. So this summer and winter seasons are because of tilt of this axis, tilt of this north and south pole axis towards the sun or away from the sun. Usually in March and September, it is at perpendicular to the plane of rotation. It is perpendicular to the plane of rotation. March, 22nd March and 22nd September. But in June, it is north is tilted towards, north and south axis is tilted towards sun, and so the upper part of the globe, that is the northern hemisphere, it is a little bit towards the sun, and the southern part of the globe is away from the sun. So northern part is experiencing in June summer season, southern hemisphere is experiencing winter season. So that you must have noticed that we have summer in June, July, August, while Australia, New Zealand, and the South America, they have summer in December. Their summer is in December. So that is because of the tilt. And if these things are known, we can further see how this pattern have been developed. This pattern कैसे develop कर गए. We have easterlies and close to the equator, and we have the westerlies away from the equator, and we have a typical circular movement in the vertical direction also. तो ये हम आपको देखते हैं, ये नेशनल जियोग्राफिकल चैनल और नासा का, ये आप नासा का या यूके मेट वालों के ये यूट्यूब के सर्कुलेशन के बारे में है, एयर सर्कुलेशन अराउंड द ग्लोब क्यों होती है, कैसे होती है. तो आफ्टर द ब्रेक वी कैन कंटिन्यू इट. सो इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन, you are welcome to ask now. तो हमने विंड सर्कुलेशन को समझना है और उनकी वजह से फिर जब सीजन्स बनते हैं और जो रेनफॉल अकर करती है, जो पैरामीटर हमें इफेक्ट करते हैं, वो हमने समझने। इज इट ओके? I take a break now and I take attendance also now. At the moment 44 students are registered. Download the attendance. So hopefully it have been downloaded. Downloads. Meeting attendance. Yes, it has been downloaded. So I stop recording now. If you have questions, you are welcome. And I leave for now. See you at 9:02 past 9. 2 minutes past 9 पे आपसे मिलते हैं। 2 स्टूडेंट और आ गए। Okay, welcome to the new students also. I start the recording again. So we have to tell you about circulation. Before telling you the circulation, I would like to say that the actual circulation is quite complex. But a general circulation pattern can be informed to you. If we consider that Earth is not rotating, Earth is like a sphere, a round sphere or a spheroid. So if we consider Earth as a sphere and it is not rotating, the pattern of the circulation would have been as it is shown in this figure. Everybody with me? Zain, Sarfraz, सारे हैं ना? नवीद, डीजी खान?
Yes, sir.
सारे हैं ना? तो शोर की आवाज नहीं आ रही?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So if we consider this is a globe, this is the Earth, ये round जो ये वाली line है, okay? And if it is not rotating, the pattern would have been like this as it is shown. एक pattern इसमें एक हवा के circulation चल रही होती है close to the ground. So that is shown with the help of the solid lines. And one is at the upper atmosphere, that is shown with the dashed line. तो वही चीज़ अगर हम साइड पे देखें तो ये close to the ground, ये circulation की direction है from the pole towards equator. And at the upper part, this is going from equator towards the pole. तो ये इसकी reason is uneven radiation at the uneven energy received by the Earth at different places at pole and equator. What is the source of energy for Earth? हमारे पास energy का source है क्या? That is sun. Sun की जो radiation है, that is evenly distributed. अगर फर्ज किया यहाँ पे sun है बहुत बड़ा, तो its radiation are coming parallel. So why we are having uneven distribution of energy at different location of Earth? Equator पे हम कहते हैं ज़्यादा एनर्जी मिलती है, पोल पे एनर्जी कम मिलती है, दोनों पोल्स पे। रीज़न इसकी क्या हो सकती है? कोई पता है कुछ?
सर एक पे डायरेक्ट रेडिएशन पड़ती है, एक पे थोड़ी वो इंक्लाइंड पड़ती है, तो इसलिए सर
दोनों पे डायरेक्ट ही पड़ती हैं, लेकिन वो इंक्लाइन वाली बात सही है। एक पे नॉर्मल रेडिएशन होती है परपेंडिकुलर, एक पे रेडिएशन ऑब्लीक पड़ती हैं ड्यू टू कर्वेचर ऑफ द अर्थ बिकॉज इट इज स्फेरॉइड। अगर ये स्फेयर होता, स्ट्रेट होता, तो सारा जो है वो इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ रेडिएशन, इक्वल वाट्स पर मीटर स्क्वायर रिसीव होते, but because at the pole it is more oblique angle of the incident of the rays and the angle of the surface. एंगल ऑफ द सरफेस जैसे जैसे ग्लोब की तरफ जाएंगे वो हॉरिजॉन्टल की तरफ जाता जाएगा और पोल पे तकरीबन पैरेलल हो जाएगा टुवर्ड्स द रेडिएशन. सो एनर्जी रिसीव्ड बाय योर बॉडी इज फंक्शन ऑफ द एनर्जी इंसिडेंट, एक चीज वो, और दूसरा एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंट. So as the angle of incident is more oblique at the close to the pole, or as we go away from the equator, ये reduce होता जाता है, oblique होता जाता है, तो energy received is less. Average हम कहते हैं 270 watts per meter square अगर energy receive हो रही है, तो पोल पे 90 वाट पर मीटर स्क्वायर रह जाती है, और जो इक्वेटर है वो 300 समथिंग वाट्स पर मीटर स्क्वायर पे चली जाती है. इसका रेलिवेंट जो चैप्टर है अगर आप बुक में देखेंगे तो वहाँ पे ये फिगर्स आपको पता चल जाएंगे. मैं वही खोलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. ये मैं इस वक्त जो खोला है वो है वेंटी चाओ की अप्लाइड हाइड्रोलॉजी का चैप्टर है 3. इसमें विंड सर्कुलेशन के बारे में मज़े की चीज़ें बताई हुई हैं. तो एवरेज एनर्जी रिसीव्ड बाय द अर्थ एवरेज is 270 watts per meter square, while at the oblique angles near to the poles it reduced to 90 watts per meter square, or average is 210 watts per meter square, or close to the equator it is about 270 watts per meter square. So equator के करीब ये high है average से, और 90 watts per meter square हो जाती है close to the globe. So this uneven energy coming to the different places of the earth will give rise to the circulation as it is shown over here. Why? Because equator will be heating up more as compared to the poles. When they heat up more, they have wind present at the equator, its density will reduce, ये भी heat up हो जाएगी, और जब इसकी density कम होगी तो it will move up. Close to the equator it will move up. So when it will move up, some wind from the neighboring places will move towards that place. So in general, pole से wind को यहाँ आना चाहिए. When it moves up and wind at the lower elevation is moving towards pole, to fill that gap at the pole, wind from the upper atmosphere goes towards the pole. तो ये एक सर्कुलेशन का पैटर्न बनेगा जिसको हेडले सर्कुलेशन पैटर्न कहते हैं, बट दिस इज अ थ्योरेटिकल पैटर्न. एक्चुअल पैटर्न हम आपको ऑलरेडी दिखा चुके हैं, वो इस तरह का बनेगा. तो दिस इज अ सिंपलीफाइड पैटर्न ऑफ सर्कुलेशन इफ अर्थ वाज नॉट रोटेटिंग. तो अगर ये हजम हो गया कि ये एक circulation pattern बनता है from the equators towards the pole at the upper atmosphere, and from the pole towards the equator at the lower atmosphere, and that is shown over here through the thick lines, that lower circulation or lower wind direction और upper wind direction. यहाँ पे यही जो circular rotation है वो यहाँ पे plan view में ये दिखा रहे हैं, cross sectional view में ये दिखा रहे हैं. ये clear हो गया तो आगे चलें. But as the earth is rotating, so if earth would have not been rotating, so only thermal effects would have been there. But as earth is rotating, so another effect comes जिसको हम कहते हैं Coriolis effect. The effect on the direction of the fluids or gases because of the rotation of some body, उसको हम कहते हैं Coriolis effect. क्या चीज़ है? Earth is rotating from the west to east. इस फिगर में वेस्ट कौन सा होगा? अगर ये नॉर्थ है और ये साउथ है तो वेस्ट कौन सा होगा? सो वेस्ट इज ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड एंड ईस्ट इज ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड. सो वेस्ट से ईस्ट की तरफ अर्थ रोटेट कर रही है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रोटेशन ऑफ द अर्थ फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू ईस्ट, द सर्कुलेशन पैटर्न चेंजेस. और क्या चेंज आती है इसको यहीं से बताना पड़ेगा. The wind which is present, or the air which is present close to the equator, because earth is rotating from west to east, it has higher linear velocity as compared to the earth present at the air present at the pole. Over there, although angular speed is same, 1 cycle per day, but because circumference is different at different latitude, at different latitude circumference is different. इक्वेटर पे ज़्यादा डिस्टेंस है और पोल्स पे वो 0 हो जाता है. तो लीनियर वेलोसिटी इज मोर एट इक्वेटर एज कंपेयर टू एट पोल. ये बात समझ आ गई? रोटेट कर रही है यहाँ पे सर्कमफ्रेंस ज़्यादा है तो यहाँ पे पार्टिकल जो है वो तेज़ी से रोटेट कर रहे हैं लीनियर डायमेंशन में, और as we move towards pole, its rotational speed in linear measurement, meter per second, kilometer per second, that is smaller. So when an air parcel present at equator is rotating at a more speed, it means it has more momentum. And when it will be moving towards the equator, when it will be moving towards the pole, so it will be attaining an oblique angle rather than going straight as being shown over here. तो इसकी रोटेशन की वजह से इसका oblique angle बन जाता है. तो any wind parcel which is coming from poles towards the equator, that seems to be moving towards west. अर्थ रोटेट कर रही है वेस्ट से ईस्ट की तरफ, तो ऊपर जो विंड है जो पोल से theoretically it should have come straight, but because of the rotation it seems that it is coming from east and going towards west, because underneath earth is moving from west to east. ये बात समझ आ गई? If it was not rotating, we would be getting straight lines of the air parcel from pole towards earth at the lower altitude, because earth is moving from west to east. So ये जो air है, it seems to be bent towards west. और ये भी जो यहाँ पे भी wind है, that is also seems to be bent towards west. So it gives us an oblique pattern, so which is written over here. In order to maintain angular momentum, velocity of air increases. ये उसके thickness की reduction की बात कर रहे हैं, वो क्यों है? Ring towards the equator, it forms an easterly air flows. So in order to maintain angular momentum, higher angular momentum at the equator and lower momentum, तो जब एक air parcel at the equator moves towards the pole, so momentum is maintained, the velocity of air increases with respect to the land surface. तो जिस place की तरफ जा रही होती है वहाँ पे velocity कम होती है. So if it moves from equator towards the poles, so it has higher momentum or higher velocity with respect to underneath ground, thus producing a westerly airflow. तो वहाँ पे एक west की तरफ से आने वाली हवा की डायरेक्शन हो जाती है. ये wind going from equator towards pole की बात हो रही है. तो the converse is true for a ring of air moving towards the equator. तो इसके उलट काम होता है if wind is moving towards. So we get an easterly airflow when the wind is blowing from pole towards equator. और उसकी reason is different momentum at different latitude. At equator it has high momentum, high speed. At away from the equator it has less momentum, less speed. तो ये reason है कि we get easterlies when the wind is blowing from pole towards equator, and we have westerly kind of wind if we are moving from, if the wind is moving from equator towards poles. तो ये इस oblique direction की reasoning है. The effect producing these changes in wind direction, which is the rotation of the earth, the effect producing these changes, कौन produce कर रहा है? It is the rotation of the earth. The effect producing these changes in wind direction and velocity is known as Coriolis force. तो इसकी वजह से अब उन्होंने ये पोल को यहाँ शो किया हुआ है, नॉर्थ एंड साउथ पोल को ये शो किया हुआ है, नॉर्थ पोल here, साउथ पोल here, equator is over here. Okay, theoretically we should have one circular pattern. Actual pattern of the atmospheric circulation has 3 cells. So theoretically we had showed you one cell of circulation, ये आपको दिखाया था. But depending upon the radius of the sphere and depending upon the rotational speed, different satellites, different astronomical bodies have different number of cells. For example, Earth, because of its specific radius and its specific rotational speed, it maintains 3 cells of rotation. One we call as the polar cell, this one we call as क्या कहते हैं उसको, tropical cell, and another is the middle cell. So 3 cell बन जाते हैं circulation के vertical plane में. So instead of one cell, and it has been seen that at Mars and at other planet, depending upon their rotation and depending upon their diameter or the radius, they have different number of vertical circulation cells. किसी और सैटेलाइट पे ये 6, 5, 4 सेल भी हो सकते हैं. It depends upon its size and its rotational speed. Earth maintains three different cells. One is called as a polar cell, another one is called as tropical cell, and other one is called as a middle cell. तो उसमें ये होता है कि in the tropical cell, now we are talking about each cell separately. In the tropical cell, heated air from the equator moves up, and then it moves towards poles, and at 30, close to 30-degree latitude, it drops, it cools down and come back to the lower elevation. And then it is separated into two directions. One start moving towards the pole, and one start moving towards the equator. So that is how the circulation of the tropical cell occurs. Equators, because of the high energy, high heating up effect, wind is risen up, and then it's at the higher altitude, about 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 kilometers, it moves towards the poles, and at about 30-degree north latitude, it comes down to the ground, and then it's diverted into the two directions. Part of that wind goes towards the pole, part of it goes towards equator. And in the polar cell, ये polar cell की बात है, at 60-degree latitude, wind goes up, because as compared to pole, it is a relatively heated place. It goes up, and then it moves towards pole, and when it cools down, it goes back to the lower altitude, and then it moves towards the 60-degree latitude. What is the latitude of the north and south pole? That is 90-degree. So, and what is the latitude of the equator? That is 0-degree. 0 से north 90-degree में divide हुआ है, 0 से south 90-degree में divide हुआ. So middle cell is driven frictionally by the effect of other two. ये जो middle cell है, that is taking care of the effect of these neighboring cells, tropical cell and the polar cell. Its surface air flows towards the pole, and the producing prevailing westerly airflow in the mid latitude. तो ये तीन cells की बात हो रही है, and we should be familiar with this terminology. The place close to the equator, उसको एक खास नाम दिया गया है जिसको हम कहते हैं doldrum. Place close to the equator, इसको ये जो equator के दरमियान है, जिसमें easterly एक तरफ से आ रही है, easterly winds are blowing towards the equator. So middle part have low pressure, so that is called as a doldrum. इसको हम doldrum कहते हैं, and it has a lower pressure at this place because of the higher temperature over here, and the wind blows up at this place. Up की जो show किया वो यहाँ से show किया. So it gives you a little bit idea about how the circulation are there, why three cells are formed, why we are not having the straight circulation from the poles towards equator, why we are having oblique circulation as it is shown over here. So we are getting easterlies close to the equator because Earth is rotating from west towards east, and its effect on the wind which is moving from the pole towards equator is that we get the easterly wind, and that wind which is blowing from equators towards pole, they get a direction of westerly direction because they are moving from high momentum area to low momentum area, and their effect is that wind goes ahead of the ground place. So the people living over there will see wind is coming from the west and going towards east if the wind is blowing from the equator towards pole. If wind is blowing from pole towards equator, the people living over there will see, or the anemometer or the wind vanes will be telling us that the wind is moving from coming from east towards the west. So that is how the direction are there. That is, and the reasons for movement or circulation is the difference of the temperature at equator and poles, and the rotation of the earth changes the direction of the winds also. And actual circulation, this is very much general circulation. Actual circulation is dependent upon land and water interaction. Part of the place is covered with the water bodies. Part of the earth is covered with the land bodies. Their cooling and warming pattern is different. Land warms and cool quickly as compared to water. Water warms and cool slowly as compared to land body. So that give rise to a complex air circulation pattern, which gives a rise to the actual weather condition at a certain place. Or फिर altitude of the land is not same. It is not a plain body. At some places we have high hills like Himalaya and Karakoram and Hindu Kush. At some places we have the plain areas like Punjab. So that also affect the circulation of wind locally at that place. But globally, this is the circulation which is we are showing you over here. We have three circulation cells: tropical cell, middle cell, and the polar cell. Their rotational direction has been shown. In tropical cell, the bottom the winds close to the ground are the moving towards the equator, and they are easterly wind. And at the polar, it is also similar condition, and in the middle ring, it is opposite condition. So these are the wind pattern or circulation patterns. So ये दो अच्छी वीडियोस हैं जो इस चीज़ को शो करती हैं. नहीं, ये अगला टॉपिक है मॉनसून का. तो इसके बारे में कोई क्वेश्चन है तो बता दें. These easterly winds which are moving towards equator are sometimes also called as a trade winds, because people living in this area, they used to use this wind pattern. They were familiar with this wind pattern to move through the ships from one place to the other place. Similarly, in addition to this, if you further go into the circulation, you will see in the literature the presence of the jet streams at the tropical, subtropical region and at the polar region. So that is the high moving winds at the higher altitude. So those are used by the airplanes for fixing their routes to move from one place to the other place. And similarly, at the ground, in the oceans, these easterly winds have been used by the marine people, by the navigators, to move from one place to other place when steam engine was not there, and when people were moving mainly because of the wind force. So they were familiar with this rotation, and they used to, in one season, they used to go towards the west, and they used to find these westerly winds to come back to their original location. So these are called as trade winds also. These easterly winds close to the equator, these are called as trade winds also. Equator side easterlies are called trade winds, and weather is generally dry at this place. And close to the equator, the strip is called as the doldrum, at which doldrum is what? At equator, there is low pressure area, winds are light and variable. This belt is called doldrum. Winds from both hemispheres enter into the doldrum. Both hemispheres से wind doldrum में enter होती है, and it carries with it क्या moisture carry करती है, and it causes heavy rainfall in this part of the doldrum. Away from the equator are the belts of high pressure easterlies and westerlies. ये high pressure is present away from the equator. We are getting westerly winds over here. ये westerly wind away from equator. Any question which come to your mind, or we move ahead about the circulation pattern? So read the relevant theory in the book. Either you use hydrology for engineers, or you use Ventichow applied hydrology. Both have one or two sections about the circulation pattern. So please go through that. You should keep in mind the force of which is causing the circulation is solar radiation and its uneven distribution on the globe, and then the rotation of the earth causes the direction of the direction to change, and then the specific feature of its radius and rotational speed give rise to three cells of the circulation. And it has been known to the geographer, to the navigation people from the early navigational lives, and they used to use these winds blowing pattern to trade from one place of the world to the other place of the world. And even current day, when we have the airplanes, they are using this wind pattern also. In this wind pattern, we have on the upper layers, jet stream area is there, and people are using those streams. At that place, air moves at a speed of 30 to 100 किलोमीटर per hour. तो उसको यूज करते हुए अपना फ्यूल बचा भी लेते हैं और एक्स्ट्रा फ्यूल भी बाद पर लग जाता है if they are against the wind जा रहे हैं. Any question in it? कोई समझ ना आया हो या कुछ ना समझ आया हो या कुछ समझ आया हो? चलें इसको एक दफ़ा आप पढ़ेंगे तो अगली दफ़ा फिर क्वेश्चन कर लेना सर ये कैसे हुआ, ठीक है? So this is general circulation of air mass. You cannot say that at the moment over here where I am sitting, wind should be blowing all the time using westerly. Most of the time easterly. We are living at what place? मैंने आपको लाहौर का latitude पूछा था. हमारा latitude क्या है? लास्ट टाइम पूछा था क्या latitude है? कोई नहीं बता रहा. कमर हबीब, कमर इस कदर उनको जल्दी थी घर की. कमर हबीब,
सर लाहौर का ऑलमोस्ट 31 है नॉर्थ.
लास्ट टाइम बात हुई थी लैटिट्यूड की लाहौर की. एनीबॉडी?
नो सर.
ये 21 गलत है. और कोई?
31 सर.
31 थोड़ा बेहतर है. 31 33 मेरे ध्यान में आता है. तो कहाँ से पता चलता है लैटिट्यूड का?
सर जो नॉर्थ की तरफ हमारे पास जो एंगल आ रहा होता है वो हमारे पास लैटिट्यूड होता है.
अरे कब पता कैसे चल? अगर आपने देखना हो तो कैसे पता चलेगा?
सर गूगल किया.
गूगल किया है फिर ठीक है. मैप में देखो, वर्ल्ड के मैप, उसमें अपनी लोकेशन को देखो. वर्ल्ड के मैप पे लैटिट्यूड लॉन्गिट्यूड शो किया हुआ. बस किया मैं ये मैप देखो तो किसी भी प्लेस के लैटिट्यूड एंड लॉन्गिट्यूड आप देख सकते हैं. हियर इज इंडिया, हियर इज श्रीलंका, इंडिया श्रीलंका, हियर इज पाकिस्तान. तो यहाँ से जो ये अगर ये 0 डिग्री है तो ये आपको देखना पड़ेगा कितने डिग्री के हैं. ओवर हियर इट 90, 20, 40, 60. अगर ये होपफुली दिस इज 30. तो इन्होंने इस पे तो लाइनें नहीं लगाई हैं, इस पे लगाई हुई हैं. तो इट विल बी अ वर्ल्ड मैप व्हिच विल बी टेलिंग यू द लैटिट्यूड एंड द लॉन्गिट्यूड ऑफ द प्लेस. तो 31 डिग्री अगर मैं अपने लेक्चर पे दोबारा जाऊं, so if it is 30 degree over here, which is the point, which is a space between the two cells, middle cell and tropical cell के दरमियान की place है. तो most of the time we should not have heavy winds over here, because here it will be going coming from the top. Wind will be coming from top to the bottom, and there will be a change of direction of the wind over here. इस जगह पे ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए due to this general circulation. So ज़्यादा wind blow as we go down, more windy condition will be seen. Easterly wind we will be seeing. कराची का अगर हम latitude देखें तो that is about 24 degree north. तो वो इस range में आ जाएगा. If we go towards equator तो वहाँ ज़्यादा ये wind blows कर रही होंगी close to the equator. So we are over here 30, 31, 32 degree. We are at the tip of the middle circulation cell. तो अगर यहाँ wind blow कर रही होगी तो westerlies यानी west की तरफ से आने वाली ज़्यादातर wind blow कर रही होंगी. westerlies west की तरफ से आने वाली. So we can see it from pattern of the wind directions which we are observing at the weather station. हमारे hydraulics की roof पे भी weather station लगा हुआ है which is giving us wind direction after every 30 minutes. हम उसको record कर रहे हैं. Okay. A particular weather system affects Pakistan and this Southeast Asia and much of the globe also. So उसके बारे में बात करना ज़रूरी है. We call this system as a monsoon system. It affects most of the world. Most of the world, 60% of the population of the world is affected by the monsoon system. Quite interesting. क्या है ये UK वालों की तरफ से? अगर मैं आए दूँ या ये कॉपी करके मैं कॉपी करके आपके व्हाट्सएप में इसको डाल रहा हूँ, खुद ही देख लो उधर. तो ये मॉनसून सिस्टम का इंट्रोडक्शन बताएगी. आई विल आल्सो ट्राई टू ओपन इट एंड इफ वी कैन सी टुगेदर दैट विल बी गुड. Maybe you will not be getting the system voice, तो इसको आपको खुद ही देखना पड़ेगा. मेरी आवाज तो आप तक आ रही है, सिस्टम की वॉइस को इसने बंद किया हुआ है. Okay, are you getting the system voice? आपको आवाज आ रही है?
Yes sir.
Okay, फिर चुप करके फिर देखो. और ये कितने मिनट्स की है? 5-6 मिनट की. मैं स्टार्ट से कर रहा हूँ दोबारा से.
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही.
आवाज आपके पास ये वीडियो की नहीं आ रही?
यस सर.
वो मुझे पता है ये सिस्टम की वीडियो को, या मैं इसको वो स्मॉल स्केल पे करूं तो फिर शायद आ रही थी आपके पास. आप
नो सर.
क्या बोल रहे हैं अब?
सर नहीं
आप
थी
आवाज
आ रही.
ओके, फिर मैंने जो आपको वो दिखाया ना उसमें देख लेना. मैंने आपको इसका लिंक भेज दिया. तो इसमें मेनली ये बताना ये चाह रहे हैं तो कि monsoon system is the system of air or rainfall which is generated because of the reversal of the wind direction from the land towards sea or sea towards land. So monsoon system is a kind of system of weather which is because of the reversal of the wind direction. और वो reversal क्यों होती है? That is because of the different cooling and heating pattern of the land and sea, land and water bodies. उनके different cooling and heating pattern है. The land cools down quickly and land heats up quickly. अगर एक आपके पास body of the land है और एक body of the water है, तो वाटर हैज मोर एनर्जी, क्या कहते हैं, एब्जॉर्बिंग कैपेसिटी, तो और वो रिलीज भी बड़ा स्लो करता है. तो इसका हीटिंग एंड कूलिंग पैटर्न इज डिफरेंट, स्लो है वाटर का. वाइल लैंड हैज क्विक रिडक्शन ऑफ द एयर. अगर वो हीटिंग सोर्स खत्म हो जाए तो क्विकली कूल डाउन हो जाती है एंड इट क्विकली वार्म्स अप आल्सो एज कंपेयर टू द ओशन. सो इन समर सीजन व्हेन वी इन साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, अगर इसको देखें, in summer season we are having quite high temperature on the land. ये summer में we are having quite high temperature on the land while ocean temperature is still cooler. ये अभी उतना हाई नहीं हुआ होता। यहाँ पे 27-28 डिग्री होता है, यहाँ पे हम 48, 40, 50 तक पहुंच जाते हैं। So this different temperature present close to the coastal region or at a certain place, wherever there is heating, excessive heating over there, air parcel or air body, it heats up and it goes up because its density is reduced. जब इसके मॉलिक्यूल्स दूर दूर हो जाते हैं तो उसकी डेंसिटी कम हो जाती है, एंड व्हेन डेंसिटी इज लेस इट मूव्स अप. व्हेन एयर प्रेजेंट एट अ सर्टेन प्लेस मूव्स अप तो वहाँ पे प्रेशर रिड्यूस हो जाता है, एंड वी कॉल इट एज low pressure have been generated over there because of the heating of the land body. So when low pressure is generated at that place and pressure at the surrounding ocean or water bodies is still high, so wind will start moving from high pressure to low pressure area. Wind always blow from high to low pressure area. So when wind blows from ocean towards sea or towards land, so it has high quantity of humidity and water vapors present in it. And when it reaches to land and it goes up, one of the mechanism of the rainfall is cooling of the air parcels by lifting of the air on the higher altitude. That lifting can be because of the temperature. We say it is convection effect, and it can be because of some barrier or some hilly area, and we call it orographic effect. So when wind moves from ocean towards the land, and if it is lifted towards the higher altitude, either because of the temperature difference or because of the orographic effect, then we get quite heavy rainfall, which we call as the monsoon rainfall. So I take a break, just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Qazi Saab was here with the letter. So what we were discussing is monsoon system, and monsoon is a word which is derived from some Arabic word, and its meaning is season. The wind which change the direction with the season. So change of direction is important in it. In summer season, we see that wind moves from ocean towards the land, and it causes heavy rainfall in our region. It will not be in other region. Other region also get the wind direction changes, and we call them their monsoon season. So in winter, opposite happens. In winter, left side figure is the winter. A land body becomes cooler quickly, while ocean is still with a higher temperature. So low pressure is generated at the ocean and high pressure is generated at the land. It is cool, it is hot, so low pressure will be generated at the ocean. So wind will be blowing from land towards the ocean. So that's why in dry season we don't get much monsoon rainfall, because wind is blowing from land area towards the ocean, and land area usually are deficient of water vapors. So we will not expect much rainfall in this area, South Asia and Pakistan and India. So this is much prominent, this rainfall pattern is much prominent in South Asia, and it is one of the big economical engine. When monsoon occurs, rainfall occurs, and it gives rise to the agriculture of that area, and that is a big addition to the economy of any country. And if it is excessive, then it causes opposite effect also. It causes losses at a certain place, and we get the floods. And if it is absent in a certain year, then we get the droughts also. We get lower than the normal rainfall, and we have very worrisome condition. Excess and lower occurrence of the monsoon both are worrisome for the economy and the agriculture of a certain place. तो ये चीज़ है जो monsoon है, and the 3 months June, July, August, September, we have the set monsoon pattern over here. We are expecting rainfall to occur in this area, although this monsoons start quite early in the area in the Bay of Bengal and Bangladesh and these places. It has occurred few months earlier, but this system moves towards the north and towards the west, and from Arabian Ocean and from the Bay of Bengal, from both of these, it moves towards the upper latitudes. So in Pakistan, it reaches in July, August, September for small time period, while in India it remains for quite longer time periods. There are some places where about 2 meters of the rainfall occurs in the monsoon period only, while about 2 meters of the rainfall is the average rainfall for only Murray area for Pakistan. Average rainfall for Pakistan is about 300 to 90 millimeter, 0.3 meter of the rainfall. So in winter, this is what I have informed you. In winter, over Indo-Pakistan subcontinent and central part of Asia, high is developed. And now you know why this high is developed in winter, because land body is cooled down, so pressure over there remains high, while the ocean part is still hot and a low pressure is over there. So wind moves from high pressure towards the low pressure. So that is the winter, and it is usually cold and dry. तो इसमें इतनी बारिश नहीं होती, cold and dry. So sometimes monsoon word is used as synonym to rainfall. So that is a misconception. So monsoon is actually the change of the direction of the wind. So that system causes rainfall in our area in summer, but that same system causes dry season in winter over here. So we should be knowing that monsoon means change of direction of the wind. So it causes heavy rainfall in summer, while it causes dry season in the winter. Both are part of the monsoon system. In summer, when we say a low is established, it means low pressure is established over the northwest part of the continent. This is Asia continent or Pakistan, India subcontinent, due to heating in the arid zones. Over here, I told you temperature rises quite high, so a low pressure is developed. Over India and Pakistan, wind blows from the southwest से blow करके east north की तरफ जाती है, and these winds are very damp. They have high humidity and originate from Indian Ocean. In Pakistan, monsoon season sets in June or July, but its effect becomes much prominent in July. It remains effective by the end of September. So we have just finished the monsoon season, and that causes our reservoir to replenish, that causes our reservoir to fill back, and we can use that water in the whole year. Prior to monsoon in Pakistan, weather becomes quite dry, and the temperature rises to quite high, up to 48, 45, 43 degrees centigrade, and a low pressure is generated in Sindh area, Hyderabad, Khairpur, Multan, and Sibbi, which is the reason for onset of the monsoon. So ये पाकिस्तान का particular condition है, which will give rise to the monsoon condition. Monsoon air requires a lifting of 3,000 to 4,000 feet to cause thunder showers, and there exists no barrier to such height. Upper limit इसकी नहीं है, 3,000 से 4,000 तक जब air circulation up जाती है तो thunderstorm करती है. So that is one kind of system which is giving us most of the water through precipitation, and we call it monsoon system. and it happens in Australia also. Monsoon system do affect Africa also. Monsoon system do affect UK also, Europe also. But most prominent is it in South Asia and Asia. Monsoon is most prominent. Okay, another kind of system which we call as western disturbance that causes rainfall in western part of Pakistan, and sometimes its effect reaches to eastern part of Pakistan. कौन से हैं ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ पाकिस्तान? bring in your mind the map of Pakistan. So Lahore, Sialkot, this Kasur, Bahawalnagar, these are the eastern part of the Pakistan. While western part of the Pakistan is Peshawar, Quetta, our Waziristan, and then Chaman. So these are the western parts. So middle part is Diji Khan, वगैरह. So western disturbances originate from the west, like monsoon disturbances which affect Pakistan originate from Arabian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal, while the western disturbances they originate in the west of the Pakistan, which is Afghanistan, Turkey, Siberia, and that area. These disturbances approach from west, and that's why they are called western disturbance. They originate from Mediterranean Sea and Arabian Ocean and move to east or northeast direction. So the rainfall which you see in December, January on the western part of Pakistan, so and the snowfall which you see, that is because of the western disturbances. That is not because of the monsoon. So a western disturbance which appear in Turkey, it reaches 7 to 8 days in Pakistan, and a weak disturbance if it occurs, then sometimes we get very dry winter season. Even in the winter, even in the western part of Pakistan, a well-marked disturbance causes widespread rain and the snowfall in the hilly area of Pakistan and on the western side of the Pakistan. So if you see the hydrograph of the rain and the snow for Lahore, you will see high rainfall in monsoon season and very low rainfall in January and December. But if you see a hydrograph is a graph which show the rainfall depth or the precipitation depth or the snowfall depth. Hydrograph. So if you see the hydrograph of the Quetta and the Peshawar, you will see relatively high rainfall in December, November, December, January. So they are under more influence of the western disturbance and they are under less influence of monsoon season. Monsoon effect vanish away as we move west. Very occasionally it reaches to as far as Afghanistan. So Pakistan is at the boundary of the effect of the South Asia monsoon season. Pakistan northern part gets quite good monsoon effects, rainfall effects, while western disturbances are resulting the snowfall and the rainfall during the winter season in this part of the world. And this 1 or 2 rainfall which occurred during this season, that is quite good for the orchards and for the crops of that area, which is otherwise very dry area because even monsoon don't reach at that place. So ये आपके western disturbances हैं, Mediterranean Sea which is not shown over here on the left side, and this Arabian Ocean that gives rise to this system, and it reaches and enters into the boundary of Pakistan from the west side, and it causes heavy snowfall and the rainfall on the upper part of Pakistan, and on the western part of the Pakistan usually we get the rainfall. Upper part we get the snowfall. So these are the two systems which we should be familiar with, and that completes our circulation of the air parcels around the globe, and the system of the air parcels which are making a huge weather effect on this part of the world, which are the monsoon and western disturbances, two main. Monsoon is are easterlies, they are coming from east, or they are coming from south, while western disturbances are the westerlies, they are coming from the west side. Please read them, please see the YouTube's videos related to monsoon and related to the air circulation, and read the relevant sections of the book also. Then you will be comprehending this, then you will be getting more insight to this. अगर अभी कोई सवाल है तो you are welcome. Any question about this? Next time we will be starting the precipitation chapter. What are different kind of precipitation, how we can measure it, and I think maybe before midterm we will be reaching to the evaporation part of the topic. है कोई क्वेश्चन आप लोगों का इसमें?
सर ये वाली स्लाइड जो है वो आप शेयर कर दें प्लीज.
Save it, close it, share it. क्या है? तंग कर लिया. It is gone. 3 MB की slide. और कुछ? So I take another attendance.
सर ये बुक का कौन सा चैप्टर है?
हाँ, आपके जो बुक कौन सी है आपके पास? ये air circulation is in chapter 2 of the book of Lindsley. बच्चे के पास बुक है नहीं, पूछा चैप्टर कौन सा? And it is chapter 3 of applied hydrology. कौन सी बुक है आपके पास?
सर वो लिंजले वाली है.
जो उसके चैप्टर 2 में है एयर सर्कुलेशन के बारे में, और चैप्टर 3 उसके में है वेंटी चौक के चैप्टर 3 में. ठीक है. Okay, I take the attendance once again. Daily attendance.
सर कुछ स्टूडेंट्स कह रहे हैं कि लेक्चर 1A भी शायद आपने सेंड नहीं किया अभी.
1A नहीं सेंड किया तो वो भी ले लो. कुछ बच्चे कह रहे हैं, तुम नहीं कह रहे.
सर मैं भी कह रहा हूँ.
चलिए, हेलो, ये भी चला गया. और बताओ. ये जो अभी की अटेंडेंस है वो मैं शेयर करूँ. Copy. So this one is after the break. कौन है? यावर है? कौन है यहाँ का सीआर? जैन है? कौन है?
उज़ैर.
उज़ैर साहब, ये आपके लिए आ रही है.
ओके सर.
अटेंडेंस आफ्टर द ब्रेक. ओके, मैं किसी व्यक्ति भी कोई क्विज ले लूंगा, इसलिए पढ़कर आया करो. 5-6 सवाल मैं दे दूंगा, तो पिछले लेक्चर पढ़ के आया करो. And that will not be counted as surprise, क्योंकि मैं पहले बता रहा हूँ. Okay, thank you very much. I stop the recording. And please read this circulation pattern. That will enhance your understanding of the circulation. And also read about monsoon system. That will enhance your understanding of the source of the water for Pakistan. And this monsoon system is not even year over year. We are not getting same quantity of water. It is affected by other systems, uneven temperature increase and reduction of the ocean of the world. उसकी वजह से एक सिस्टम जनरेट होता है, इफेक्ट कहते हैं एल नीनो इफेक्ट एंड ला नीना इफेक्ट. When there is La Nina effect, we get more heavy monsoon. When it is El Nino year, then we get low rainfall over here. दुनिया का कोई और इलाका जो है उस वक्त हाई रेनफॉल ले रहा होता है, हमारे पास ड्राई सीजन हो जाता है. जबकि when it is La Nina effect, we are getting heavy rainfall, and another area of the world, usually Australia and those places, they get low rainfall. So ये पैटर्न थोड़ा वेरी करता जाता है. Meteorologist people are familiar with this, and they can predict well ahead that next year maybe we are getting less monsoon or high monsoon, and people then become ready for, and they even adjust their cropping pattern, they adjust their agriculture practices accordingly. If they are expecting less rainfall, they go for some other kind of crops, and they go for other kind of crops if they are expecting high rainfall. So ये पैटर्न फार्मर्स को भी इसका अंदाज़ा है कि हर 5वें साल हमारे पास एक फ्लक्चुएशन आती है. that is because of El Nino and La Nina, or they know that हर समर सीजन में हमारे पास हैवी रेनफॉल आती है, तो उसी हिसाब से वो कल्टीवेशन अपनी शेड्यूल करते हैं. एंड यू सिविल इंजीनियर पीपल आल्सो शेड्यूल योर कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज अकॉर्डिंग टू द सीजन. मानसून सीजन का ध्यान करते हुए कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज प्लान करनी होती हैं. तो ये चीज़ें हैं जो इफेक्ट करती हैं सिविल इंजीनियर्स को. प्लीज बी फेमिलियर विद द वेदर ऑफ द एरिया वेयर एवर यू वर्क. इफ यू गो टू UAE or Canada, don't expect similar weather over there, so be familiar with their weather. Okay, thank you very much. Stop sharing and leave.